So we are talking about different types of leaves. For example, casual leave. Let me type casual leave or privileged leave. Earned leave. Maternity leave. Sabbatical leave. Let me type some of the leaves. Relocation leave. Relocation leave or annual leave or vacation leave or FMLA leave or jury duty leave. Jury duty leave. Okay, so these are some of the examples of leaves. When the companies get registered, whenever the companies get registered, these are some of the leave types that we are discussing. Leave types: casual leave, privileged leave, earned leave, maternity, paternity, sick leave, LTA leave, compassionate, sabbatical, governmental leave, ESI leave, education leave, relocation, annual, vacation leave, FML, jury duty. All these are leaves. So when the company is getting registered, it is maintaining certain based on certain acts. For example, what are those acts? You can call it as, for example, factories act, or shops and establishment shops and establishments act. These are maintained based on these factories act and shops and establishments act. It is maintained. For India, for example, we are talking about India country. So for US country, for example, US country, you can maintain FLSA. Based on FLSA, it can be maintained. What is FLSA? FLSA is nothing but Fair Labor Standard Act. Let me type that. Fair Labor Standard Act. Fair Labor Standard Act. For India, we are maintaining based on Factories Act and Shops and Establishments Act. Okay, so after referring the, for example, Indian company, after referring to these acts, company prepares standing order. Company is preparing stand in order. So, and it should be approved. They are coming under the Labor Department, Department of Labor, Department of Labor, India. Because this entire activity is coming under the Labor Department of India, New Delhi, Labor Department. Meaning these are applicable if the company has at least 20 employees. 20 employees. Or there are certain other rules such as maintenance of electricity, some lights and other things, or at least minimum 20 employees. Let's talk about this casual leave. For example, casual leave. What is a casual leave? And we will talk about. So this is casual leave is maintained by the Shops and Establishments Act. Casual leave is maintained by the Shops and Establishments Act as per the rules. Usually 7 to 12 days are declared as casual leaves, or you can call them CL. You can call them CL. In company, they are called CL. Casual leave or CL. So it may be different from one state to another. It may be different from Karnataka to say any other state, for example. So employee need not show any mandatorily need not show any reason for casual leave. Usually they are maintaining some 7 days maximum, for example, at a stretch. Next, privileged leave. Privileged leave is also defined by Shops and Establishments Act. So usually it's maintained by 18 to 20 days are declared. So why this privilege leave is required? If an employee requests for any special occasion, then employee may be eligible to for PL. You can call it as PL, privilege leave or PL. Earned leave, you can call it as EL. EL. What is earned leave? Is defined by this is maintained. For example, this earned leave is maintained by not Shops and Establishments Act, but by Factories Act. In India, we have these two acts are applicable: Factories Acts and Shops and Establishments Act. This is Shops and Establishments Act. Earned leave is specified by the Factories Act. Usually 20 days it's maintained, maximum 20 days. So this earned leave is earned during a year, and it can be carry forward, meaning earned leave can be continued in the subsequent year also. It can be continued. Maternity leave, ML, for example, ML, maternity leave. In India, it is given according to the rule, it's 12 weeks, but the companies give more than 12 weeks as an earned leave, as a benefit, company specific. But as a rule, it should be minimum of 12 weeks. Maximum, whatever is given based on the companies which is giving benefit. Now, uh, it is of course event based. Event based meaning it should be a female employee and it should be applicable. So we are maintaining in info type 2 gender, we are maintaining, or while hiring also we are maintaining like Mr. Mrs. other things we are maintaining. So based on female, system is identifying based, it's applicable for female gender. Okay, paternity leave, for example, paternity leave is given up to usually 5 working days, maximum of 5 working days as per the act. For it is applicable for male employees, of course. Sick leave, sick leave. So for sick leave, employee need not produce any medical certificate if it is for 1 day, according to Shops and Establishments Act in India. If employee is sick, he or she need not produce any sick medical certificate. So when the employee is claiming sick leave, and if it's approved, then they can be maintained for more than 1 day. Then the company may ask for a medical certificate, for example, though it's not mandatory. This uh, compassionate leave, or this sabbatical leave or governmental leave, all these are different leaves. They can be maintained, for example, for any emergency to employee, like some death in the family, or it is maintained like that. 1 week is approved, but according to um, but it is not coming under any act. Compassionate leave, sabbatical leave, governmental leave are not coming under any act. It is up to the company to maintain. And education leave, this education leave and this sabbatical leave, education leave, also these acts do not define any of the things for this education leave and sabbatical leave. Company may approve or may not approve. It's up to the company. It is, if it is approved, then there may be a paid salary or a percentage of paid salary, or maybe no salary for a period. Then we have this ESA leave, for example. ESA leave meaning um, ESI meaning employee state insurance. So it is for employees who have a less salary. Earlier it was 15,000. Now I think it is 20 or 21,000 per month. If it is below that amount, then you are maintaining as the ESI account for the employee. So this leave is approved by ESI doctors. If employee is not healthy or not feeling well, it can be maintained, ESI leave. So other things like relocation, for example, relocation meaning, as the name suggests, it's not defined by any act, a period paid leave available for employee. For example, for relocating to one location to another location. LTA leave, for example, LTA meaning applicable for India only, leave travel allowance. LTA meaning leave travel allowance. LTA leave means granted, it's a granted by some in a slab of 4 years, 2 times in a slab of 4 years, which is specified by the government. So there are fixed years in a slab, 4 years in a slab, and employees eligible for two LTL travels. So if leaves are available, they can be granted by the employee to the they can be granted by the company to the employee, LTL leave. So it is maintained as part of remuneration to provide for travel expenses incurred during that year. So, and other things, we have annual leave and other things, other types of leaves we can talk about. Annual leave, for example, it's not specifically defined, but it can be maintained for up to 2 weeks on the company. Vacation leave, for example, vacation leave meaning vacation leave is given usually on hours. This is not defined specifically. It is also usually maintained 40 to 80 hours. Then you have FMLA leave. FMLA leave. So FMLA leave is specifically for US country, where you can maintain some you can use for so adoption of a child or birth of child, like that. For that, some family member illness or other things, it can be made. Jury duty, last leave, jury duty is given to employee when the employee has to attend the court of law as a witness. Mm, so it's given, it can be given up to 2 years. So these are some of the tips, which are some are universal, applicable for all countries, some are specific to some countries only. For example, ESI leave specific to India, or LTA leave, for example, specific to India. So you are maintaining all these things, all these perspective you need to understand when you are working in SAP projects. So you are maintaining all those things. This is mostly providing about the leave management. Then attendance management, meaning you are specifying attendance management, you are specifying the planned working time, actual working time, other things you are specifying. For example, what I'm talking about, the third point is attendance management. Now attendance management works with, say, planned working time or actual working time. Employee supposed to work uh, as per the maintain whatever is approved time. Attendance management you are maintaining. For example, you are spending, say, 5 days a week are need to be worked, 5 days, 5 days per week. Per 1 week, one group of employee needs to work for 5 days a week, and per day 9 hours per day, for example, 9 hours per day. And actual time may be from say 09 to say 18. You are maintaining like that. So you can maintain breaks also. Break. So when you are talking about break, meaning break is nothing but a deviation from the working time for a particular period, usually a day. So this break is of two types. One can be paid break, just like leaves. Paid break, unpaid break. Breaks can be two types: paid break and unpaid break. Paid break meaning for the break period it is paid for the employee, meaning the break is not calculated as a deviation. Paid break. Unpaid break meaning it is calculated as a deviation. So if employee is spending 1 hour at a lunch break, then if it is unpaid break, then probably the time is extending by 1 hour. When you are talking about the duration, entire duration, it can be like that. So whether paid break or unpaid break, any break, you can divide it into four parts, four types of breaks. What are those four types of breaks? Fixed break, flexible break, um, dynamic break, overtime break. So you can divide breaks in. There are four types of breaks available. They are fixed break, flexible break, dynamic break, overtime break. Let's understand what is this fixed break. So for fixed break, start time and end time, break start time, break end time is fixed. What start time, break start time, break start time and break end time is fixed. For example, you can say uh, some 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. 3 p.m. In SAP we don't maintain like that. So you are maintaining like 15:00 to 15:30, for example. 15:30 is snacks break or tea break or coffee break, you can say like this. This is an example. This is a fixed break example. Flexible break. Let's understand what is flexible break. Start time, break end time is defined. Duration and duration is fixed. Duration is fixed. For example, some some 12 to 15, 12 to 15, 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. For example, you are calling it as a lunch break. Lunch break. With this lunch break, you are maintaining, and the duration is 1 hour. Duration is 1 hour. 1 hour. But the actual duration is 3 hours. Defined duration. Duration of actual break is 1 hour. That is meaning from 12 to afternoon 12 to 3 o'clock, you can go for lunch for 1 hour. Anytime you can go between 12 and 30 for 1 hour lunch. This is called a flexible break. Let's talk about dynamic break. Dynamic break is not defined. Break start time, break end time is not defined, and duration is fixed. And duration is fixed. That is what a dynamic action is. You can say 15-minute break after 4 hours of continuous working. This can be an example. All these are examples only. This snack break, tea break, they are examples only. Dynamic break. 15 minutes of tea break, for example, after 4 hours of work. 4 hours of continuous work or 4 hours of work, whatever it is. It's just an example. It can be 4 hours, it can be 2 hours or whatever hours. Then you have overtime break, OT break or overtime break. So after break approved, after planned working hours, after planned working hours, during overtime, if you are taking this anywhere in the world, these breaks are only these 4 types of breaks are available to you. You can maintain that. Next, time data collection. Time data collection. So this time data collection is integrating all the three functions. What are the three functions? This time data collection is nothing but integration of this time data recording, this time data recording, leave management, and absence attendance management. Integration of all these things is time data collection. So for time data collection, you are maintaining the in core HR in SAP also you are maintaining, which are relevant for pay components in core HR terms. In SAP HR, we are maintaining time wage types, for example, time data collection. You can maintain regular working hours of employee or overtime workers working hours of the employee, shift allowance, risk premium, travel allowance, all these things you are maintaining. There are certain parameters, meaning this group of employees or manager group, position wise, work center wise, group level wise, you are maintaining all these components. You are maintaining. Time management is generating set the numbers based on these values so that they can be calculated accordingly. So there are wage types in time management as well as payroll. In payroll, it is obvious. There are time wage types and other things. Okay. So when we are saying working time, for example, I'm typing planned working time. Planned working time, when you are saying, you can specify it as a two things, working day and, for example, day off. Working day and day off. Suppose what I'm saying is this planned working time is two types, can be working day or day of time for the duration of the planned working time. Working day maybe, for example, it can be some Monday to Friday for your company. For another company, it can be Monday to Saturday, depending on the company. Monday to Saturday, for example. Suppose day off meaning it can be Sunday for your company. For some companies, it is Saturday and Sunday, depends. So you are specifying from when you are saying working day, Monday to this thing, again, you can divide it into two parts again. And what are they? They can be like public holiday and not a public holiday. It can be any of these two things. Public holiday and not. When I'm saying planned working time, under planned working time, two things can be there: working day, day off. Working day, suppose Monday to Saturday, Sunday is day off for your company. Working day, again, you can specify in two ways: public holiday and not a public holiday. Meaning some festival is falling on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. Though it is a working day, that is a public holiday. Because Diwali came on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, even though it is then this is a public holiday. And not a public holiday meaning employee is working on a working day because it's not a public holiday. For day off, I can consider, I can directly under not a public holiday, for example, day off, even though it can be, I can consider it as a public holiday, whether it is a Sunday or a Deepavali or whatever public, I can still consider it as a public holiday like this. Now, this is different. This kind of concept is different, maybe varying from one location to another. One location to another, meaning you, the company has branches in US, India, and other places, for example. It may be different based on the countries or based on location. For example, location within the country, say India country. In India country, there may be some different leave types for New Delhi or Chennai, for example. Based on this, you are specifying, varying from location to location. So that's how we are going to, because there may be some Pongal may be applicable in Chennai and it may not be applicable for some employee in the same, even though it's the same company. Or some Chhat Puja in applicable in Delhi or not. So within the country also, location wise also, we are maintaining the difference. So in this case, in SAP system, how do we specify? You can specify based on personal area or personal sub area or employee group or employee subgroup or Molga country wise, like that you are maintaining. Because SAP time management system is not country specific, not country specific. For example, in the initial starting class, we discussed that payroll module is divided country wise. Payroll management is divided country wise, like India payroll or US payroll, like that we have talked about India payroll India. But SAP time management is not country specific. You are maintaining based on certain logic. So in the next class, we will go step by step. We will talk about this, whatever we discussed, those things we will try to talk about. Breaks, we'll configure breaks and other things. If you have questions, you can shoot questions. Otherwise, you can log in tomorrow.
Okay, sir.